Ladies and gentlemen, the day you stop comparing yourself to others is the day you start building the life that's actually meant for you. Comparison is the thief of joy. It takes your focus off your path and points it towards someone else's results. It steals your energy, your confidence, and your peace. See, here's the truth. We're all running different races on different tracks with different starting lines. You might be comparing your chapter 1 to someone's chapter 20 and then feeling behind, but you're not behind. You're just early in your journey. Your real competition, it's not them. It's you yesterday. Did you grow today? Did you push yourself a little more than you did yesterday? That's what matters. Don't look at someone else's harvest and feel small. Instead, water your own garden. The seeds you plant today, discipline, courage, integrity, will bloom in time. Success has no set calendar. It doesn't show up on someone else's schedule, and it certainly doesn't care how loud the world is screaming around you. Let others do what they do. Let them post. Let them shine. Your job is to build quietly and consistently, because the truth is comparison distracts, but focus multiplies. So instead of watching someone else's life, build your own. Instead of asking, why not me? Ask, what can I learn? And then do the work. Because when you stop comparing, you start living. When you stop measuring your worth by someone else's results, you free yourself to finally become who you were meant to be. And that, right there, is the beginning of greatness. Comparison steals joy, energy, and peace. It makes you feel like you're always behind, even when you're making progress. It blinds you to your own growth because you're too busy watching someone else's highlight reel. It creates anxiety because your focus is no longer on your own path. It's stuck on someone else's. And the more you compare, the more disconnected you become from your own purpose. You start chasing things that don't even matter to you. You start measuring your worth by someone else's outcomes, and that's a dangerous way to live. Because no matter how much you achieve, it will never feel like enough. Someone will always have more. Someone will always be ahead. But here's the truth. You're not running their race. Your story is your own. Your pace is your own, and that's exactly how it's supposed to be. Joy lives in presence. Peace lives in self-respect. Energy lives in momentum. And all three are lost the moment you look sideways. Stay focused on your steps. Stay loyal to your path. You're not late. You're not early. You're right on time for your journey. Now let's talk about something else that's often misunderstood. Money. If your money is sitting still, it's shrinking. Inflation eats at it quietly. Every dollar that sleeps too long loses its power. That's why you have to make your money work. Don't just earn it. Grow it. Don't just save it. Strategize it. Your income is only one part of the equation. The other part is what you do with what you earn. Are you investing? Are you learning how to multiply instead of just collect? Because money is a tool, and tools are meant to build. If you let money sit idle, it rusts. But when you put it to work with wisdom and patience, it creates freedom. Not just financial freedom, but mental freedom. Freedom from panic. Freedom from living paycheck to paycheck. You don't have to know everything to win in the financial game, but you do have to care enough to learn. You have to be humble enough to say, I don't know, and hungry enough to ask, how can I learn? Knowledge isn't power unless it's applied, and money won't grow unless it's guided. Take ownership of your finances the same way you take ownership of your dreams. No one's going to hand you security. You have to build it, and it starts with how you think, how you act, and how you plan. So stop watching others succeed while you hesitate. Start moving, start learning, and start leading yourself. Because the moment you stop comparing and start creating, you take your power back. Everyone has a unique journey, pace, and path. No two lives are meant to look the same. No two timelines are meant to match. Some people bloom early. Some people rise later. Some find their purpose at 16, others at 60. And both are right on time. The world will try to rush you. It will whisper that you're falling behind. It will show you someone else's progress and ask why you're not there yet. But don't let the noise distract you. You are not here to race. You are here to rise. At your own pace, in your own way, on your own timeline. Your growth can't be compared because your path is yours alone. Your story wasn't meant to be a copy. It was meant to be a masterpiece written from scratch. Stop measuring your worth with someone else's ruler. Stop watching their steps while ignoring your own. You don't know what they've sacrificed. You don't know what they've been through. And they don't know what you're building. Your time will come. If you don't quit, keep showing up, keep learning, keep growing, your pace might be slower. But slow progress is still progress, is still progress. You may be behind in one season, but ahead in the next. It's not about getting there first. It's about getting there prepared. And while we're talking about preparation, let's talk about something that affects everyone: money. If your money is sitting still, it's shrinking. That's a truth many people ignore until it's too late. Inflation never sleeps. And every dollar that's not moving is quietly losing its value. You don't need to be a financial expert to understand this. You just need to care enough to take action. You need to realize that earning money is just step one. What you do with it, that's where your power lives. Put your money to work. Let it grow while you sleep. Invest wisely. Learn patiently. Don't fear the game. Study the game. Because money is not just about luxury or lifestyle. It's about freedom. Freedom to live on your terms. Freedom to take risks. Freedom to give back. You don't need to know everything to begin. You just need to begin with curiosity and commitment. Read, ask questions, hide small if you have to. But start, because the earlier you plant the seeds, the stronger the tree will grow. You owe it to yourself to build a life that is stable, strong, and free. Free. No more sitting on the sidelines while others build wealth. No more watching success like it's a show. Get in the game. Learn the rules. Play it wisely. Because in both life and money, your journey is yours. And the sooner you own it, the stronger you become. You can't compare your beginning to someone else's middle. It's one of the quickest ways to rob yourself of clarity, motivation, and confidence. You see someone thriving, shining, building, achieving, and you start to wonder why you're not there yet. But what you're forgetting is this: they've been at it longer. They've stumbled more. They've fallen and gotten back up. They've already paid the price in silence and sacrifice, in years of invisible work. You're looking at their results without seeing their process. You're measuring your start line against their 10,000th step, and that's not fair to you. Everyone starts somewhere, and every beginning is supposed to feel uncertain. You're supposed to feel awkward. You're supposed to feel like you're fumbling through it. That doesn't mean you're failing. That means you're learning. It means you're growing. It means you're doing the work, and that's exactly what you're supposed to be doing. Don't compare your day 1 to their year 10. And success doesn't show up all at once. Sometimes it creeps in quietly. Sometimes it shows up after years of effort that no one clapped for. But you have to keep going. You have to give yourself permission to be in the process. Because the process is where strength is built. The process is where habits are formed. The process is where you grow into the person who can actually handle the success you're chasing. So give yourself time, give yourself grace, and give yourself focus. Now let's talk about something else people tend to misunderstand: money. If your money is sitting still, it's shrinking. And it's not because you're doing something wrong. It's because inflation never sleeps. Every year, your money quietly loses its buying power. And the only way to fight that is to make your money work for you. That means investing. That means saving strategically. That means thinking long term. And that starts with education. You don't have to be an expert to grow your money. But you do have to care enough to learn. The moment you realize that your future depends on what you do with your income, not just how much you make, you take back control. Most people work for money their whole life. Very few let their money work for them. But that's how wealth is built: through discipline, through patience, through learning. You don't need to know everything. You just need to start. Start small if you have to. Read a little, ask questions, be curious. Your financial future isn't something that just happens. It's something you shape. And every smart decision today creates more freedom. Tomorrow, it creates options. It creates peace of mind. And it creates security that doesn't depend on luck. It depends on wisdom. So don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait until you know it all. Just begin. Your beginning may be messy. It may be uncomfortable. But just like in life, just like in your goals, just like in your dreams, you can't compare your beginning to someone else's middle. You're not behind. You're on your way. Keep going. Your only real competition is who you were yesterday. Not the person next to you. Not the one on social media with the perfect life. Not the one who seems to be years ahead. The real battle is internal. It's about being a little better than you were before. It's about progress, not perfection. You don't need to outrun anyone else. You just need to outgrow who you used to be. That's the standard. That's the measure. Each day, ask yourself, Am I thinking better? Am I moving with more discipline? Am I handling life with more strength, patience, and focus? Because when you live by that question, you stay in control. You stay grounded. You stay focused on your own path. It's easy to get caught in the trap of comparison, but that path leads nowhere. The only person you're truly racing is the version of you that chose excuses yesterday, the version that quit too soon, the version that doubted the dream, the version that said, "I'll start tomorrow." Today is your opportunity to rise above that version, to act instead of delay, to learn instead of avoid, to push instead of fold. Every step forward counts, even the small ones. Especially the small ones, because consistency beats intensity when it comes to growth. Your journey isn't about being perfect, it's about being better. One decision at a time, one habit at a time, one challenge at a time. So don't waste your energy trying to beat someone else's pace. Put all that energy into improving your own. That's how winners are made. Now let's shift to another area where this truth applies. Your money. If your money is sitting still, it's shrinking. And most people don't realize it. They think saving is enough. They think holding on to cash is safe. But safety isn't the same as growth. And if your money isn't growing, it's dying quietly. Inflation is slow and silent, but it's real. Every dollar that sits still today buys less tomorrow. That's why you have to put your money to work. It doesn't mean risking it recklessly. It means learning how to guide it. It means making decisions today that protect and multiply your future. Don't wait until it's too late. Start now, even if it's small, because small investments compound over time. Just like self-improvement, your finances grow with consistent effort. You don't have to know everything. You don't have to be an expert, but you do have to care enough to learn. You have to care enough to say, my future matters. You have to be curious enough to ask, how do I make this work for me? Because wealth isn't about luck. It's about mindset. It's about direction. It's about planting seeds that grow into something strong. Read, listen, ask questions. Make adjustments. This is how you become the kind of person who not only earns money, but multiplies it. And just like personal growth, it starts with a simple decision to be better than yesterday in your thinking, in your actions, in your money. That's the real competition. That's the path to mastery. And it's wide open for those willing to take it. Focus on growth and consistency, not someone else's results, because someone else's pace is not your responsibility. Their success is not your measurement, and their timeline has nothing to do with yours. When you chase results that aren't yours, you lose sight of the process that builds you. Growth isn't loud. It's not always seen or celebrated. Sometimes it's silent. Sometimes it happens in private when no one's clapping, but it's real and it matters. The secret to long-term success is consistency, showing up even when the spotlight isn't on you, doing the work even when it feels slow, building the habits even when the results haven't shown up yet, because that's where character is formed. That's where strength is built. And that's where real progress begins. If you focus too much on outcomes, you'll get discouraged because the results take time. But if you focus on the process, on showing up every day, you create momentum. You create trust with yourself, and you become the kind of person who doesn't just start, but finishes. No one sees the grind behind someone's results. No one sees the early mornings, the late nights, the quiet sacrifices. So don't compare your journey to someone else's finish line. Instead, ask yourself, did I grow today? Or did I stay consistent today? Or did I give my best effort? Because if the answer is yes, you're winning, even if the results haven't caught up yet. Stay committed to the work, because consistency compounds and growth over time becomes power. Now let's talk about another area where consistency matters, your money. If your money is sitting still, it's shrinking. You may not feel it today, but inflation is working every minute, eating away at your purchasing power. That's why saving alone is not enough. You have to make your money work. Put it somewhere it can grow. Let it move. Let it multiply. Let it build something. Your income doesn't determine your wealth. Your decisions do. You don't have to be a financial genius to start. You just have to care enough to learn. Start asking questions. Start reading. Start small, but start now. Because time is your greatest ally in building wealth. The earlier you begin, the more your money can grow for you. You're not just working for money. You're building a future. And that future depends on what you do today. Be consistent in how you save. Be disciplined in how you spend. Be wise in how you invest. Because financial freedom doesn't happen by accident. It happens by design. And it rewards those who are patient and prepared. So just like in life, focus on growth. Focus on consistency, not what others are doing, not how fast they're growing. Stay in your lane, play your game, and build something that lasts. Success blooms in silence and with time. It's not instant. It's not a viral moment. It's not a quick fix. It's not a shortcut. Real success takes patience. It takes consistency. It takes invisible effort repeated day after day. You don't plant a seed today and expect a tree tomorrow. You water it. You protect it. You wait. And eventually, it grows quietly, slowly, deeply. That's how real success works. It's built in the dark. It's built when no one is watching. It's built through the decisions you make when you're tired, when you're doubting, when you're tempted to give up. Success doesn't happen when you talk about what you'll do. It happens when you do it, especially when you don't feel like it. And you may not see results right away. But that doesn't mean you're not moving. That doesn't mean the roots aren't growing beneath the surface. Some of your most powerful growth will happen in silence, in stillness, when the world thinks you're standing still, but you know you're preparing for something greater. Don't rush it. Don't chase applause. Don't worry about who sees you. Focus on the process. Do the work. Trust the timeline. Because when it's time to bloom, nothing can stop it. And when it does, it won't be luck. It'll be the reward for everything you did in silence. Now let's talk about another thing that grows with time and quiet consistency: money. If your money is sitting still, it's shrinking. You may think saving is enough, but saving alone doesn't build wealth. It preserves it, briefly, but it doesn't grow. Inflation eats away at your savings slowly, silently, just like time erodes unused potential. That's why you have to put your money to work. Let it move. Let it multiply. Invest in your future like you invest in your goals, with intention. You don't need to be an expert. You don't need to know everything, but you do need to care enough to learn. Ask questions. Study the basics. Start small, but start now. Because the earlier you begin, the more time can work in your favor. Money grows in silence, just like success. It grows when you're patient. It grows when you're consistent. It grows when you stop trying to chase quick wins and instead build long-term value. The compound effect is real. Every smart move today becomes a powerful advantage tomorrow. And you won't always see the growth right away. But keep planting, keep nurturing, keep learning, because over time, the seeds you plant, financially and personally, will bloom. And when they do, it won't be because you got lucky. It'll be because you stayed faithful to the process. You gave it time, you honored the silence, and you never stopped growing. Comparison distracts, focus multiplies results. The more time you spend looking at someone else's life, the less time you spend building your own. Comparison pulls your energy in the wrong direction. It leads you to doubt yourself. It tricks you into believing you're not doing enough, not moving fast enough, not achieving enough. But that's not the truth. The truth is everyone has their own pace. Everyone has their own timing. And your focus is far too valuable to waste on someone else's journey. When you compare, you stall. You pause your own progress. You question your own momentum. But when you focus, everything shifts. Your energy sharpens. Your purpose gets clearer. Your results begin to multiply. Because focus is fuel. It's the power to give your best attention to what actually matters. It's the ability to show up daily, not distracted, not scattered, but locked in. Success doesn't come from watching others. It comes from working on yourself. From putting in the hours, even when no one is looking. From doing the small things that build big results. And when you stop comparing, you free yourself to do the work, to master your craft, to grow in silence, to rise at your own speed. Let others do what they do. Let them shine in their season. Yours is coming too. If you stay focused, focus on your path, focus on your habits, focus on your next right step. Because that's what builds momentum. That's what multiplies results. Now let's talk about another area where focus matters: your money. If your money is sitting still, it's shrinking. Inflation is always working against it. The value of cash slowly erodes when it isn't put to work. Saving is good, but saving alone isn't enough. To grow wealth, you have to be intentional. You have to move from just holding money to multiplying it. That means investing. That means learning. That means thinking ahead. You don't need to be a financial genius, but you do have to care enough to grow your understanding. Start small if you must. Ask questions, read a little each week. Pay attention, because when you focus on your finances, they begin to grow. It's not about quick riches, it's about consistent direction. The same energy you waste comparing yourself to others, redirect it. Put it into learning how to make your money work. Put it into building something that lasts, because money, like success, rewards attention. It rewards action, and it rewards focus. So choose to focus on growth, on learning, on creating a better future. Block out the noise, shut down the comparison, and give your energy to the only thing you can control: yourself. That's how results multiply. That's how freedom is built. And that's how you win. Build your life quietly and let results speak. You don't have to announce every move. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You don't need applause to stay committed. The strongest growth happens in silence. The most powerful work is often done when no one's watching. Because what you build in private will one day be revealed in public, but only if you stay focused. Talk less, do more. Let the work speak louder than the words. Every hour you invest in yourself counts. Every habit you create, every book you read, every decision you make when no one's looking, it all adds up. The world doesn't need more noise. It needs more results. And those results are born in discipline, in patience, in the quiet hours when you choose growth over comfort. You don't need permission to level up. You just need consistency. You don't need validation to keep going. You just need vision. Because when your life is built on real action, you don't have to convince anyone of your progress. They'll see it. They'll feel it. Your presence will speak for itself. The people who talk the most usually do the least. And the ones who achieve the most are often too focused to boast. Keep your goals sacred. Protect your energy. Work in silence. And trust that your effort will echo through every area of your life. Now let's talk about something else that grows through quiet effort: your money. If your money is sitting still, it's shrinking. Inflation doesn't sleep. Every day your money just sits there, it loses power. And yet most people let their income sit untouched, uninvested, hoping for change. But hope is not a strategy. Action is. You don't need a finance degree to start growing your money. You just need to care enough to learn, care enough to read, care enough to ask, care enough to act. Start simple. Start small. But start. Learn the basics of investing. Understand how compound growth works. Be consistent, not flashy. Because just like building your life, building wealth is quiet work. It doesn't happen in a day. It doesn't require noise. It requires intention. It requires discipline. Half requires discipline. And it rewards those who are patient and prepared. Put your money to work the same way you put your time and effort to work. Don't let it sit idle. Don't wait for the perfect moment. There is no perfect moment, only now. And what you do now matters. When you choose to grow in silence, your money, your mind, your life, there will come a day when the results will be undeniable. And when they come, you won't have to explain yourself. You won't have to speak loudly, because your results will do all the talking. So stay focused, stay humble, stay consistent. Let the world wonder what you're doing until it becomes impossible to ignore. Build your life in silence. Let your success make the noise. Ask, what can I learn? Not a why not me? Because one question opens your mind and the other closes your heart. A why not me leads to frustration. It makes you feel like a victim. It causes you to compare, to doubt, to resent. It shifts your focus to everything you don't have. But a what can I learn turns pain into power. It turns setbacks into lessons. It takes disappointment and transforms it into development. Because every challenge carries wisdom. Every delay has a lesson hidden inside it. And when you ask, what can I learn? You become a student of your own journey. You stop blaming. You start building. You shift from wishing to working. And you grow mentally, emotionally, spiritually. There will always be moments when life doesn't go your way. You won't always get the opportunity you hoped for. You won't always receive the recognition you thought you earned. But what you do at that moment is everything. You can waste time complaining, or you can invest time learning. You can point fingers, or you can ask questions. What can I learn? Keeps your focus forward, keeps your power intact, keeps your heart open and your mind active. Because learning isn't just for classrooms. Learning is for real life. Every failure, every delay, every no, every obstacle, All of it carries value, if you're willing to look for it. And the people who grow the fastest, the ones who rise to the top, are always asking that question. They aren't wasting time asking why them. They're too busy asking what now, or what next, or what can I do better? And that mindset changes everything. Now let's talk about something else that thrives on learning, your money. If your money is sitting still, it's shrinking. Most people avoid dealing with finances because they feel overwhelmed. They say, I don't know where to start. But the truth is, you don't have to know everything. You just have to care enough to learn. You just have to be willing to ask the same question. What can I learn about money? How does investing work? What is compound growth? How do I protect what I earn? Those questions unlock freedom. Financial freedom. Because money doesn't grow from hope. It grows from knowledge. It grows from choices. It grows from attention. If your money isn't moving, it's losing value. Inflation is always at work. So your money should be too. Put it somewhere it can grow. Study. Listen. Ask. Take small steps, but take them. Start where you are with what you know. And then expand. Because what you don't know is not your problem. Refusing to learn is. It's not about being perfect. It's about being willing to improve, willing to fail forward, willing to try. Because the moment you ask, what can I learn? You take the first step toward growth. In life, in money, in mindset, and in everything that matters. You unlock your potential when you stop comparing and start becoming, because comparison keeps you trapped in someone else's story. It forces you to live by someone else's pace, someone else's timeline, someone else's idea of success. But your power lies in becoming who you were created to be. Not a copy, not a shadow, not an echo. You don't need their life. You don't need their path. You need your own voice, your own vision, and your own direction. Comparison slows you down. It fills your mind with doubt. It steals your energy and shifts your focus from growth to jealousy, from purpose to performance. And as long as you're busy measuring your progress against someone else's, you miss the beauty of your own journey. But the moment you stop comparing, something powerful happens. You shift inward. You stop asking, why aren't I there yet? And start asking, what can I build right now? You start creating instead of waiting. You start working instead of worrying. You stop looking for validation and start building value. That's when things begin to change, because your real potential doesn't come from trying to be like others. It comes from becoming fully, completely, unapologetically you. Your gifts, your story, your resilience, your strength, they were never meant to be compared. They were meant to be developed, and that only happens when you lean into the work. When you stop chasing someone else's path and start walking your own. When you stop scrolling and start creating. Start becoming the person you know you're capable of becoming. Not overnight, but every day, one choice at a time. That's how you unlock your true potential. Quietly, consistently, with courage and discipline. And now let's talk about another area where this truth applies, your money. If your money is sitting still, it's shrinking. You can't afford to let it rest while the world around you moves forward. Inflation never stops. Prices rise. Time passes. And every dollar that isn't growing is quietly losing its strength. But here's the good news. You don't need to be wealthy to get started. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to care enough to learn. You just need to ask questions, study the basics, and take action. Because when you learn how to make your money work, you shift from surviving to building, from stressing to planning, from hoping to becoming someone who is in control of their future. Put your money to work. Invest it with intention. Build systems that support your goals. And don't compare your financial journey with someone else's highlight reel. Start where you are. Learn as you go. Because money, like personal growth, rewards patience and discipline. It rewards the ones who stop watching and start becoming. So choose growth. Choose action. Choose to become the version of yourself who takes ownership of both life and finances. That's where your power is. That's where your potential lives. And that's how you unlock it. So stop looking sideways. Stop measuring your worth by someone else's wins. This is your journey, your story, your future to build. Choose to grow. Choose to become. Not in noise, but in depth. Not through comparison, but through consistent action. Because the moment you stop trying to be someone else, you give yourself permission to become someone greater, your true self. And that is where your power begins. That is where your purpose lives. And that is how you rise.